Hello, OMG, and welcome back to my channel, where today we have part 2 of my foundation series. We're going to be using the NYX Born to Glow foundation. So if you want to see how to get this look and how well it works with my makeup products, and honestly with whatever products you have in your toolkit at home, then go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get on with part 2 of this foundation series. And of course I have the NYX Born to Glow foundation. Now looking at my notes, it is only $10. And so like I was saying in part 1, in the colder weather, my skin is a little bit more dry. As it gets hot, my skin gets gradually more oily. So right now it is getting hot where I live, so I haven't 100% moved into my oily skin. Right now I have like a combination skin. I have dry in certain areas, usually oily in my T-zone and other popular areas that you normally get oily. So this is a good foundation for me still right now. It is little, it is really cute. I saw who demoed it first, Isabel Bedoya. If you guys follow her on Instagram, she's the one who had reviewed it, and then I went ahead and tried it. So I'm gonna take this foundation brush right here and just go ahead and apply it on. Now it is very liquidy, so it comes out very quick, so be careful. And then I just kind of paint it on in strokes because it is so like fluidy. And I just go ahead and start to blend it in. Now I'm not wearing any primer, and the reason is I had watched a video with a Chris and Dominique video, and she was getting her makeup done by JLo's makeup artist. And I know JLo's one of JLo's makeup artists, and the girl was saying, I forget her name, that she really doesn't use primer before foundation. And the reason is because she notices that primer really moves makeup throughout the day. It doesn't really like settle your makeup. And so I kind of noticed that too. I would always wonder like why my blush looks like it's melting into like my bronzer, and like why, you know, it's not staying put, why it doesn't look like how it looks after I, you know, just applied it, like all nice and blushy and everything. And so that's why. So I kind of stopped using primer. It doesn't mean I'm 100% against primer. But yeah, so I just find better results as well with not using a primer before my foundation. I'm gonna take a little bit more just to apply to my forehead, and then we're gonna do another coat so I can show you guys that this one is buildable. The reason why I like this one for dry skin is because it feels like it moisturizes your skin. Again, I always make fun of when like people are like, oh my God, this foundation feels so lightweight. Again, I don't know if it's just me, but when I apply makeup to my face, I feel like I can't feel if it's like heavy, thick, slimy, you know, how these gurus be like, oh my God, you know, it feels so lightweight on my face. Like, dude, I cannot feel it on my face. But this goes on very, very like lightweight, very sheer. You can still kind of see like all of my imperfections. So I'm just gonna take about another blob of it, like so, and then strategically apply it and then just stroke it in. Or pat it in, I should say. I stroke it, and then I pat it. Now, this foundation, oh shit. Never get foundation brush hairs everywhere. This foundation is probably better to put on with a sponge. I have before. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I have new sponges and I'm like saving them. Like I don't want to use them because I just want to save them for when I do makeup, for when me and the hubby go out. I don't know, I just feel like, I don't know, I have like this weird thing where I save my sponges and I'll just use my makeup brushes. But honestly, this foundation is probably a lot easier to put on with a sponge because it is so liquidy. But if you don't have sponges, don't even trip. Like, look, I'm just using a basic, like a foundation concealer brush, and it goes on just as nice. You just have to be careful for any strokes, you know, in the foundation, like any like lines that maybe the brush will give. And then just go ahead and bring that into the forehead. And then I kind of like to carve out my eyeshadow. I usually do my eyes first. I filmed a makeup video on how to rock an eye look with a mask on. So if you want to see how to get this eye look, go ahead and watch that. I already filmed that. It's already loaded. But yeah, it's a fun video because we're always going to be wearing masks for a while. And the whole point of this foundation series is because some of us are obviously working from home. Some of us are obviously, you know, not working from home. But if you are at home and you're someone who loves makeup like me, it's a good time right now to test out foundations and what works for you and what doesn't. And just because we can't go out and you can't really show like your entire face when you go out, doesn't mean like you shouldn't stop wearing makeup. Like I know for me when I'm at home, I like to play with what I have. I'm not necessarily spending all kinds of crazy money on like new products, but I like to play with anything that's, you know, I like to call my makeup my toolkit, anything that's in my toolkit, and see, you know, what looks good and what doesn't. So it's nice to wear foundation even if I'm just in the house, because I like to look cute for myself. Make sure that you guys remember, if you do makeup, make sure you do it for yourself, because it's an art that you love. So and even if you just want to keep, you know, wearing makeup at home, there's nothing wrong with that. So for me, I like to feel cute some days. Again, I don't wear makeup every day or else your skin's gonna turn to shit. So yeah, but it's a really good time to test out foundations. So this is what the second coat looks like. I'm pale right now. I know it probably doesn't really match, but don't worry, we're gonna like fix that. I wanna show you guys how well this foundation mixes with all my other products, because that's very key. As I was showing you guys in part 1 how all my products worked with the Milani foundation, I wanna show you guys how it works with this NYX Born to Glow foundation. Now, what I was saying in part 1 was that if you do have dry skin like myself and you're going to use a moisturizing foundation, be careful with how much moisturizing products you use. Now, I used to use this with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. That's a bomb-ass concealer, but when I would apply the two, the combination gave me like a really oily look, and I still want a matte look, but not something that's gonna dry me out. So with this foundation, I highly recommend using a matte concealer. So I'm going to be using the 16-Hour Camo Concealer by e.l.f. Cosmetics in the color Light Peach, because I do like my under eye to be a little bit brighter. So I'm just gonna go ahead and strategically apply this where I see fit. And then we'll go ahead and blend her in. So I'm going to just use the same brush I used to blend in the concealer. There's really like no method to the madness here with this foundation. It's just a matter of what combination of stuff that you use. So you can really tell how good a foundation works. Like if you guys say you have like a die-hard product that you want to use, and it's like, whether it's a concealer, it's a, you know, a bronzer, a cream blush, you get to really see how the foundation performs when you mix it with your other products. And so that's where I like to see like, okay, is this going to work with, you know, all the other stuff that I apply. Now, since I already did my eyes, it gets a little bit difficult to blend the concealer. So I'm just gonna use a smaller brush to get a little bit more precise in this area, so I don't end up screwing up my eye makeup. And I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this up. Now, I don't have TikTok. I don't like TikTok. No offense to anyone who has it. I just feel like I'm too old for that. Honestly, too busy to even dive into a world of TikTok. And but I saw someone had reposted this person who highlights, I guess it was on TikTok, how this person like does their concealer and they highlight it in the way that I just did, where they add it towards right here, here, and here. And so I kind of like how that looks. I forget who it was though that I follow. Oh, Tina Halada. Tina Halada, she is a guru. She is in New York right now. She had posted an Ariana Grande makeup look, now that I remember, and I think that's the method that she used. But yeah, I like it. It looks like, you know, very like it's snatching you up. So that is kind of why I placed it a little bit more strategic. Now, I don't like a lot of brightness on my forehead, just kind of up here. I don't like brightness like right above my eyebrows. I have mentioned that in my previous video on my makeup tutorial with a mask. But anyways, so now this is, I'm looking ghostly, but you see that highlight? You see how it just looks like it's going straight up? I love that, I love that, I love that. So again, using a moisturizing foundation, you have to be careful with how many other products that you use that are just as moisturizing so that you don't have such a dewy, oily look, unless that's something that you're going for. On me, that just doesn't look good, or else I look greasy and slimy, and I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a cream bronzer. This is my favorite one. It's Milk Makeup's Baked bronzer. It is a matte one, so it's actually perfect for this combination. Now, I really, really like this bronzer. Like, I have had it for so long and I absolutely love it. So I'm just gonna take the same brush that I use. I'm just gonna go ahead and add it kind of like sloppily or sloppy, because we're gonna go ahead and blend it on in. And I'm gonna do my contour. I wanna bring it up higher because, I don't know, I just feel like I want more of like that snatched, higher contoured look. I just feel like it might look better on my particular structure. But yes, I swear by this bronzer. I do put powder bronzer over it, but dude, like, this is seriously like the best cream bronzer ever. Like, I don't think I would ever try a different one unless you guys can recommend one that is just as good. My little pelitos are getting in the way. And then we gotta do underneath the mouth, so I can get like that big lip droopy, you know, look. And then we gotta do the nose. So we're looking like Picasso. We're literally looking like an art piece, but in a weird, funky way. So we're just gonna go ahead and blend this all in. I'm gonna drag it down. I used to drag it up. Honestly, like, in this quarantine, I play with my makeup so much that I get to really like do combinations of products and see what works. I kind of bring it higher and then like this at an angle, like a V, so I get more of like a snatched look. I do have a pretty defined jawline, as you guys can see. My weight like fluctuates. I get bloated, and when I get bloated in my face. So sometimes I feel like my face looks thicker on camera, but I do have a pretty distinct jawline. So I still contour it. I still try to make it look more defined. So now we're just gonna do the other side. Apply that, and then we'll blend in the forehead. You see how like nicely it all like glides together, and then we'll blend in my contour, pushing it up. That way we're not pushing it out, because if you push it out, your nose will look thicker, and I definitely don't want that, because I already don't like my nose as it is, so I try to make it look thinner. And we can't forget, I think I already smoothed this out, we'll smooth it out again. But you can see how nicely all the products pretty much blend together with that foundation base. Like, I'm telling you guys, your foundation base is everything in terms of how your other products perform. So then I kind of want to match my skin, because my face isn't really matching my chest. So instead of using translucent powder, I'm going to use this banana powder to kind of brighten up the underneath of my eyes. I'm going to be using just a little bit of it because it kind of gets everywhere, and you honestly don't need that much. And so that I can strategically place, I'm going to use the same brush I used for my foundation, and then just apply it, because you guys can see like, look, it's already highlighting and everything. So I'm just pouring little by little in this cap, and then just highlighting the areas that I want highlighted. So I'm just gonna put like a strip down here on the bridge of my nose, and then kind of just set this part in place. And I'm just gonna use the excess for above my eyebrows. And so then what I'm gonna do to further set it, I'm gonna use this VH Studio Pro. I'm sorry, it's by VH Cosmetics, their Studio Pro. Shade 215 matte powder. I'm just gonna take a Luxie brush to drop the brush because I always drop things in my videos. So I'm just gonna lightly take this and then just set underneath right here, underneath my cheekbones. And then I need to set all that foundation that I applied on my neck, because if you don't, it's gonna be slimy and then like move throughout the day. And I'm just gonna apply a little bit over that cream bronzer that I did. And then we're gonna go ahead and apply the powder bronzer. Just a little bit here. So you can see how like everything is coming together, and even though like everything on me looked ghostly in the beginning, it's all starting to match with like my neck and my chest. So anyways, let's go ahead and move on into bronzer. Now my favorite bronzer that I use is the Morphe Icon one. This one is really, really good. It works with honestly any foundation. I haven't had much issues with it. It works like butter. So I'm just gonna take this and then apply the powder bronzer to everywhere that I had applied the cream bronzer. So now I'm just gonna go back in with this BH Cosmetics powder and then just kind of apply it towards my nose where I don't want my nose to look like fat. That's why I applied more of the bronzer on my nose, and it just really works really well with all of the products. And then we're gonna do one last carve out right here where we just kind of like add more of this powder. And we kind of just blend in right here. So it doesn't look like too harsh, but you still have like that snatched look. So now we're gonna move on to blush. And you guys know that I love my Alamar Cosmetics blush, but I wanted to change it up. So I've been using this Laura Geller one. It's in the color Baked Blush and Brighten, and I got it in a BoxyCharm, and it's really pretty because it has a shimmer, so it's perfect for like the spring, summertime. You kind of have to load up on your brush to get payoff, but you guys can see like, look how pretty that is. Such the difference. Then I kind of just like to put it right here and then bring it up. So I'm just like patting it in rather than like, you know, mixing it in. Okay, and so then I'm just gonna take the other side of this brush that I used for the bronzer and the powder, and I just use it in circular motions to blend it in. That way it doesn't look like so harsh, but I'm telling you, like everything with this foundation just blends beautifully. So since we used so much matte products on top of this moisturizing foundation, I want to use a setting spray that's gonna give me more of a glow. So I'm gonna use this Iconic London Prep Set and Glow Spray. It's really pretty. It has like a shimmer to it. I also got it in a BoxyCharm. So it's really good for like days where, you know, you do this kind of routine where you do moisturizing products with matte products, so it still gives you that glow. So for the highlight, I'm going to be using the Glazed palette by Laura Lee Los Angeles. It's my absolute favorite one. Only thing that sucks is, let me show you guys. When it was brand new, I dropped it because I drop everything, and I dropped my favorite color, which is the color Diamonds. So I'm gonna use that to highlight, and it's just gonna overall give it that really pretty, just highlighted, dewy look that's still matte. And that's it. The face makeup is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup, and then we'll be right back. Okay guys, this is the final look, and I'm telling you, this $10 NYX Born to Glow foundation is honestly everything. If you have dry skin, and even if you have combination skin, just remember to use a mixture of matte products so that you don't look too dewy and oily at the end of the day, or even in the middle of the day. But anyways, if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, comment, share, and everything. And then please make sure you do your part and stay home and spread peace, love, and happiness. I will see you all in the next one.